It is Sunday, September 28, 2025, MMAOB Daily Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Adam Martin. That's Big Marcel. Going to recap UFC Perth on this episode of the podcast, and then we'll do a podcast after previewing UFC 320. I know Marcel, he's got the Jergens ready for that one because his boy Big Wank is in the main event. But first up, Marcel, we have to talk about this card, UFC Perth. But first off, man, how was your weekend so far? How are you feeling, man?
Yeah, okay, man. Not much going on. How about you? Oh, you wanted me to talk, of course.
I did, because I was trying to get the tweet ready.
Sorry,
That's my setup.
Yeah, not much going on, to be honest, man. Yeah, kind of a quiet week, I would say. Just not much going on. I cannot say a lot, just not much going on. Watch some sports today, not a lot, but yeah, kind of a quiet day today.
But not the real sports like American baseball and American football. You're watching the fake
stuff.
No.
You're watching the fake stuff.
Oh, yeah. Were you watching golf? Because apparently Europe beat America. I didn't see it, but
no.
I think our friend Cole was watching it. I didn't check it out. Anyways, I just tweeted out the podcast. So there we go.
Let's see.
Get some comments in the chat. What's up, Antoine? Yes, late night pod. What's up, Joe? Eagles won. Bills won, Joe. Blue Jays won, Joe. Phillies won. All our teams won, man. Great day. What's up, Sign Collectibles? Glad to have you here, man. Card was decent. I mean, it was okay, Antoine. Honestly, Marcel didn't like the card. I think it was an okay card. Just keeping it real. I know you didn't like the card last night.
You said it fucking sucks as well. So why are you saying?
That's what I'm saying. I just said I said let's keep it real. I think it was just an okay card. It was probably I think the last couple of fights kind of saved it a bit.
I said it was the worst card of 2025. You agree with me in the Discord?
I thought the Atlanta card. Actually, Atlanta. Speaking of Antoine, that card was so bad too. What's up, Paul? Glad to have you, man. As always, brother, or mate, I should say. What's up, Craig? Glad to have you here. Antoine's asking about Ajax. Did they win? They played today? Ajax?
Yesterday, man. Before the UFC, they won 2-1, but it was a horrible game, and they actually deserved to lose. Got very lucky.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. All right, a couple other comments here. Dana's in the chat as well.
Congrats.
There you go, man. I'll take it. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. And yeah, Paul, numbered card, which is awesome. Oh, yeah, the Falcons went too. There you go, Antoine. Finally, right? After last week, you guys had a bad week, but there you go. But yeah, we're going to go through the card top to bottom. I mean, I guess I'll just start with that. Out of 10, I mean, what's your honest to God rating out of 10?
I went with 4 before the card started, and I'm going with 4.5.
Okay. I would probably go with the 5. That's kind of my opinion. Just because, I think the last couple of fights, with the finishes were good, but I think the card was pretty bad. Also, we lost a bunch of fights. May as well really quickly talk about those. We lost Louis Sutherland and Just Toffa. I know that was a fight you were looking forward to. You and Stefan. You guys were texting back and forth about Louis Sutherland. You guys love that guy. Levels Fight League. Stefan was excited for it, man. I saw he was the first guy replied to Louis on his Instagram post. So that sucked. And apparently, do you know the story? Toffa missed weight and then went to the hospital. How the fuck did he miss weight at heavyweight?
The thing is, Louis Sutherland said that he missed weight, so I haven't confirmed anything from the Toffa side, so we cannot just go on.
Well, David Shaw said that, didn't he, last night? He said that he had heard the same thing.
Yeah, he heard, but I want confirmation, before I say anything. But if you miss weight, then it would be very bad, Then actually, that is a reason to cut somebody. I think definitely if it's a heavyweight, I feel like, well, yeah.
He's missed weight before. I can't remember who he missed weight. Was it Harry Hunsucker? I can't remember now.
I don't know against who, but he did before. He has the record, yeah.
He came in at 267 once. I think Chris Barnett missed weight too, didn't he once?
Barnett? 266. Oh, 266 and a half, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, and then the other fight we lost was Owen Elliott and Jonathan Mihailov, which sucked. And the crazy thing is, two of our consensus dogs, I think they were both going to win. I was convinced.
Yeah.
Did you ever find out what that was? It was an illness, apparently? Do you know what it was?
Oben felt ill, yeah. He posted a whole statement on his Instagram.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that. Okay, no worries. Anything worth, was it weight cut related or not?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't read it fully because I was talking to someone else when I saw it, and then I forgot to read it. But there's a whole how do you say that? A whole essay on his Instagram. So
Daniel James, that was another guy too, Marcel in Bellator. Remember him, Daniel James?
Yeah.
By the way, what's up, Zach? The funny thing is, we're talking about this guy. Right now I can't make 265, quite frankly. So, and neither can Marcel. So we're like the last guys that should be talking here, but
I think the
it's not
last
our
time I
job
made
to make weight. It's not our job to make weight. Thank
yeah,
God, because I would miss weight right now, Marcel.
last time I made 265, I was 12 years old probably. So
Holy
I have
shit,
no
you were a
idea. I'm
big
just
kid.
kidding.
You were
I
huge
was,
as a teenager. You told me about it. You were a big guy.
yeah.
Blake loved the car. Of course he did. 7 a.m. too, I think, was kind of early, man, to ask your fans to come out. Like that seems kind of nuts to me, you know?
Yeah, I think it's kind of it's either disrespectful and doesn't make sense to start a card at 7 a.m. in the morning.
It's fucked,
Fucking
especially all
bullshit.
yeah, I know. And you saw the post fight, David Shaw. They asked him straight up, they're like, when you choose to go to place, is it about money? He's like, yeah, the money's a big part of it.
Yeah,
I love David Shaw because he's a straight shooter. And people get pissed at him in the comments, like, this guy sucks, bring in Dana. This guy actually answers questions unlike Dana,
yeah.
Marcel.
Dana never says anything, or Dana only wants to have his back rubbed for the amazing things he does, like power slap and stuff.
Dana just does the thing where he's like, Lene, what did he say? And then gets an extra minute to think
Hmm.
about the answer. Lazy Bed's here. What's up, Lazy Bed? We appreciate you, man. There was another comment too. Yeah. Oh, Knox was here as well. What's up, guys? Glad to have all you here.
So,
By the way, Dana Blanco gave it a 2 out of 10, so he's actually thought it was worse than you.
hmm.
I like this from Blake. It was the most Jake Matthews thing to lose to No Magny. Yeah, pretty much battle of gatekeepers basically in that fight. Yeah, the UK fans. Yeah, that fight, the card with Bilal and Leon was also in the middle of the night. It was a kind of a
Yeah,
weird time as well. So, all right, let's get into the card, Marcel. Why waste any more time? Um, yeah, like let's start with the main event. Work our way down as always. Not surprising, really. I thought there was an outside chance that Reyes could knock out Ulberg, but I was pretty convinced Ulberg would win the fight. And he gets the job done in the first round. I thought Reyes, he just couldn't pull the trigger. Just kind of stood there and got brutally knocked out. 9 straight wins. He said last night that he's the backup fighter for this weekend. And then someone asked him, like, really good question. They're like, why would you even want to do that when you've pretty much assured yourself of a title shot? It doesn't. I don't know, Marcel. Why would he want to be the backup?
and,
I don't.
and officially he isn't even, because
Yeah,
somebody, and then he got asked like, "Are you actually officially the backup?" And he's like, "No, but I think I will be." So it's like you're
it
not
was
even
kind of weird.
officially. Yeah,
Yeah,
why would you? But on the other side, if Yuri gets a great win over Khalil or other way around, you never know.
I really can't see it happening, dude. 9 straight wins. It's hard to deny it, especially with the knockout. Like, if you'd want to kind of, close this decision, like the Jan Blachowicz fight, which I think you thought Jan Blachowicz won that fight. I thought Ulberg won, but I think you thought Jan won, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
If it was like that, then I could see the argument. But 9 straight wins with a knockout in his hometown, or not in his hometown, but pretty close by. He's New Zealand from. But to me, it's like he's got to get the title shot, man. 9 straight wins. But like you've said many times out here, they keep passing over Mazar Floyd. I think he is 9 straight wins, right? They pass him over. So we'll see. I just think it's a little different with Ulberg. It seems like the UFC loves this guy. Hunter Campbell loves him. They're flying him into Vegas. He is going to Vegas this week.
I know. Yeah,
But for me, it's like I don't see the point of him being the backup. Like, I think if someone got sick, if someone got injured, put in either Yuri or Khalil. In my opinion, anyways, Marcel.
yeah.
Yeah, because also, like, he's a pretty big dude, Carl Ulberg. Like, can he really make 205 again in a week?
I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll
Yeah, I
see.
don't know. It's kind of
I
seemed
don't
like he
think.
was talking shit a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary to be honest. So
I agree. All right. What's up, Justin? Glad to have you here, man. Yeah, Malsar has that win streak, and then Fluffy has 8 in a row, I think. Marab has 13 in a row. These guys have some of the longest streaks, or maybe someone else I'm forgetting, but Ulberg's up there with the longest streak right now, which is pretty nuts. People picked Reyes because they want a Cinderella story. Yeah, it's true. That's true. I wonder who upgrades sacrifices Reyes to get their cut. I don't know. What's up, Seamus? Glad to have you here, man. Yeah, good question about Ulberg. The thing is, he kind of started late, right? Like, I don't think he's taking as much damage as a lot of guys his age. Also, light heavyweight is kind of like heavyweight. Like, you can become a little, better at an older age. Like, Alex is 38. Magomed's what, 33 or 34, I think, at
yeah,
Kalaev. So, like, you can be pretty good in the middle of your 30s. You get Khalil's also up there as well. Like, he's like 35 or 36 too. So, yeah, like, I think the heavier weight classes you actually can be successful at a later age, and he doesn't take much damage, like you said. Ulberg's 9-fight win streak at light heavyweight tied with Magomed for the second longest of all time behind John Jones. There you go, Marcel. Love that. Oh yeah, Islam, of course. I forgot about Islam. Jack's 18. No, I mean, he does, but we're not going to count the fights from like Eternal or whatever. The fights in the UFC, I think he's 6 or 7 in on the UFC. Jack, he's amazing. Don't get me wrong. But Islam for sure. I don't know why I forgot him. But He's not fighting until that fight's next month. It's coming, or well, I guess about 6 weeks. These fights are coming up soon, including this weekend. All right, let's go to the next fight here, Marcel.
It's because we didn't have the pay-per-view for a long time, now they're close to each other.
No, it's true because I was doing I was setting up the article and I'm like, wait, is it 320? I'm like, wait, what about 319 was a long time ago? It's not 321, because
Yeah.
there was no pay per view in September. Let's go to the next fight here. Jimmy Crute gets the submission over Ivan Erslan. Yeah, I mean, I had Crute by submission. I thought this was an easy fight to call too, and he made this look very easy. Kind of got a pro wrestling move there, Marcel. Choke wasn't really, it was like a neck crank. Not many guys will tap to that. I think, again, I would tap to it, but I think you kind of got to fight that out a bit. I don't know. Were you surprised how quick that tap was?
Yeah, but I don't know what he feels, so maybe it's like a sort of a panic reaction,
Sure.
so I don't know. But yeah, I mean, Erslan, they kind of make something out of it when he came over. And he's 0-3, man, and he hasn't looked good. Only the Kuchelaba fight, he kind of looked okay, but all the other fights, not that great, And I don't know. Yeah, it's a good win for Crute, but also an expected one, to be honest.
Yeah,
So
I thought so too.
yeah.
Yeah. You think Erslan gets cut 0-3 UFC?
Maybe he gets one more, because 205 kind of sucks. So maybe he gets one more.
And he was a co-main event too. Yeah, I mean the guy hasn't looked that good though. Let's be fair. Tristan, what's up, man? He's gonna join see the replay later. Fair enough. Yeah, that's what it was. Iron Sheik camel clutch. It was like a pro wrestling move. I think he said last night it was he said it was like I think it's called an STF. Is that what John Cena does? I don't really watch wrestling anymore.
He should just call it the Crute crank,
Yeah, Crute crank. I like that. That's a good one. Good win for him though. I mean, bounce back, 2 straight wins now. Good for him, and he's kind of saved his career. I mean, had he lost to Marcin Prachnio last fight, he was gone from the UFC for sure.
Yeah.
So he saved his career. By the way, is Prachnio on the roster anymore, or is he?
I have no idea. I don't think he's cut, but I have no idea.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about that. By the way,
You want him for him versus Erslan?
Yeah, no. Well,
co-main event in the Apex.
Crute called out. No, Sterling called out Erslan, or no, who called out Ebo? Was it Crute or Sterling?
Crute, I think.
Okay, Crute called him out. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Was it or was it Sterling? I thought Sterling. I can't remember now. Someone tell me in the chat. Who called out Erslan last night? I can't remember now. Was it Crute? It might have been. What's up, Duke? Pato's there. Crazy Pato. Duke was up now. Someone tell me who it was. Delize pulled that against Hermanson. Pulled the STF. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. But who was it last night? Someone write in the chat because I forgot. It was Sterling. Yeah, it was Sterling.
Okay.
Yeah, see, my memory's a little better than yours, and you've never even spoke pot. What's your excuse, dude?
I'm working in between, so I barely listen to the post fights sometimes when I hear it, but
fair
I
enough.
heard somebody say Erslan, but yeah, I forgot who it was.
Jack Jenkins gets the win decision over Ron Tavares. Kind of a boring fight, I thought, Marcel. He got the job done, but not exciting. What'd you think?
It was okay, man. I think Ron Tavares is gone from the UFC probably after missing.
Oh yeah, he missed weight. We should mention that again.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Kind of a Brian Battle situation here. But yeah, I mean, Jenkins won. Good win. It's a fight I expected him to win. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I don't watch wrestling anymore. I used to when I was a kid. I loved it. I don't watch it anymore. The thing is, Antoine, especially when you have kids of your own, man, you have to kind of pick and choose what you watch. So it's tough for me to spend. I don't have any more time. I already watch enough other sports, as you know. So, but I have no problem with people who watch wrestling. I know Marcel doesn't really watch it. So Denzel Freeman, I know he got signed. Is he fighting Qatar? He's saying Junkie reported it.
Yeah, he's fighting that Polish guy, that Buyo or Balilo, Marek Balilo or something. But that dude
undefeated Polish guy. He's like 5-0 or something.
It was Jose Luis, but Luis pulled out. So
okay, that makes sense. Let's go to the next fight here. Yeah, I mean, this is the fight to talk about, right? This is the one. Come on, man, hit the button for me, dude. Let's go. Dog of the night. Dog of the night. Dog of the night. Dog of the night. Plus 300. Neil Magny. Listen, it was fucked up. Let's be honest. It was a fucking weird fight. I'm taking it though, man. I'm fucking taking it, man. Dude. I don't get these big underdogs that often. This was a pretty big one. This is one I sniffed out a few weeks ago. Now, the way it got there was weird. Let's be honest. Let's talk about this for a minute. I don't want to spend all the time talking about this fight, but we talk about it for a minute because I know you have some thoughts. So, I thought Neil actually looked pretty good in the first couple of minutes of the fight. Like he was working from the outside, using his jab, using his low kick. Then they went against the fence, and Jay caught him in that submission. It seemed like the time was still left on the clock. I think 1 second, maybe 2 seconds. I think one. The referee said it's over, but he wasn't out. Then the fight gets restarted. Second round, Jake Matthews is dominating again, wins the second round, and then in the third round, Neil pulls another rabbit out of the hat and gets another Darce choke. He actually had a 3rd round submission over Daniel Rodriguez with the Darce choke as well. It's another 3rd round finish. I mean, this guy, the thing with Neil Magny, and we talk about Marcel, endless cardio, like it's hard to out cardio this guy. He works harder than anyone. And he trains the Elevation Fight Team. We know training at Denver helps. Now, as far as the way the fight ended, it's fucked up because like okay, so here's the thing. I think if this is in Vegas, it's a no contest because we saw this. There was a fight, Dan Argueta against Ronnie Lawrence. Remember, it was an early
Yeah,
stoppage, and they immediately were like, "Yeah, the guy didn't tap. We're going to call it a no contest." That's what they
yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah.
That's the fairest thing to do, I think. Neil
Mhm.
wasn't out, dude. He was not out.
I agree.
I don't think you can give a win to Jake Matthews. I think that's worse, actually, to give the win to Jake Matthews. But at the same time, I also am seeing the argument that, we've seen this in the past too. Like Bisping against Anderson Silva, he thought that he knocked him out and then kind of like, gassed out a bit. We saw this with this guy, Luis Saldana. I can't remember who he fought. Remember that fight? He thought he knocked the guy out and they jumped on top of the cage and Herb Dean's like, no, 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 the fight's still on. Do you remember that? That was,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I
and
don't
then
know
also,
against.
yeah, sorry, there was a few other fights like that. So we have seen a fight get restarted before. It was Matt Brown against, God, I can't remember. Was it Pete Sell? I think the rematch, Yves Levine. I was Googling this today. It has
Oh,
happened.
okay. Yeah,
Yves Levine apologized for it after. He's like, yeah, I shouldn't have restarted it. But listen, my thing is, it was Luis Saldana versus Sean Woodson. That was the fight. Yeah, yeah. My thing is like, either way, it's fucked. You either have an early stoppage or you have a fight that probably should have ended there with a no contest. I'm gonna take the Magny win, dude. I was the only guy odds breaker. I believed in him. I'll take it. He did win the fight. He did win by, dude. If Jake Matthews is that good, he can hold on and win that fight. He tapped out, so I don't know. It's weird. Like it's a weird one, man. You can go ahead. I'll get your
yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah, you were kind of heated last night,
I
but
was heated,
yeah,
dude, because I had so many people say I'm an idiot for picking Neil Magny. I had so many people saying this pick is wrong. It's a bad pick. You're gonna lose your money. You're gonna lose your pick. It felt
but
good.
yeah,
That's why it felt good, honestly.
yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
I mean, that fight, the thing was like the referee just tried to save his own ass pretty much, you know. He didn't even felt the arm, but you saw the arm a little bit going limp, but he wasn't out, you know, but he was on the verge of being out, but he
sure.
wasn't out. And then the referee stopped it at 001 second on the clock, you know, and he was like, he's out. And then he was like, time, time. And then he was like, end of the round. I was like, dude, you stopped the fucking fight, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
And it would have been a mistake if he stopped the fight because Magny
Hmm.
wasn't out. But
Hmm.
it's also a mistake to continue
Hmm.
because he stopped the fucking fight. It's not in the rules, you know, but he just found a kind of a loophole to get out of there, you know, and to restart the fight, which is kind of sucky, you know. And Magny did great. He got the 3rd round finish. Good win for him. But I kind of agree also with Jake. Like, he thought he won. Adrenaline dump comes in. He think he wins. And then he gets told, like, you don't win. Still, he should have won the fight. You know, in my opinion, he tapped in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw on Jake's account that they're gonna appeal the decision.
Yeah,
Which
and
I think it's in their right. You know.
it might get overturned to a no contest. I don't think he's
Yeah,
going to get the win. I doubt that.
I think they should do the rematch, man. To
I
be
think a
honest.
rematch makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, it seemed like UFC, they thought that there was a mistake made. David Shaw seemed a little upset about it as well. Someone asked him, they're like, "Are you going to give Jake Matthews your win bonus?" He's like, "Yeah, it's a possibility, but it's up to Hunter and Sean." I don't think they did. I doubt they did, Marcel. Maybe. I doubt it though.
Yeah.
But yeah, one thing I will mention is, and Aaron Bronstead are a good friend, or my good friend, anyways.
I have nothing against Aaron, dude. Aaron's a good dude.
You don't know him though. I actually like, I know him in real life. He lives.
Yeah,
He
yeah, yeah.
literally. He literally lives 5 minutes from me. It's like you and
Okay.
Stefan. I call Stefan my friend, but he's not. Really my friend. Um, the referee's the sole arbiter of the fight. And they say this a lot too, and people kind of ignore that, but it's true. So the ref ultimately makes the decision. Again, I think if this is in Vegas, there's so many experienced commission officials sitting cage side that they're like, okay, we're gonna go to the replay. We're gonna see if the tap occurred before, or sorry, the stoppage occurred before or after the bell. Because it was before, it's no contest. We're gonna redo the fight. I will say this though, I prefer if they did restart fights with early stoppages than have not
Okay.
continue. Personally,
I'm gonna ask you something crazy. What? Imagine Jake Matthews says, "Fuck it, I'm not fighting anymore." You call the fight. What's
he
gonna
might
happen?
lose by TKO forfeit or right.
Yeah, but they also cannot do that because he fucking stopped the fight, you know? And I agree with you that it's okay that they continued because
Yeah,
Matthews didn't want the fight, actually, you know? But the referee made a mistake, you know, and he didn't
yeah.
own up to it. He just tried to get out of it, you know?
There's also like, remember this fight between Ed Herman and Mike Rodriguez? I want to say.
Yeah,
You
that
remember?
I Mike got fucked in that fight.
I
Yeah,
think he submitted him and knocked him out in the round, and they both times it was a Chris. I think it was Chris Tione.
yeah, of course, that fucker. I mean, I think he called a low blow in that
Yeah,
fight. Well, it wasn't a low blow; it was
yeah,
in the gut. You know.
yeah. Yeah, no, listen, this is a weird situation. It doesn't happen that often, you know? Um, but I'm kind of like, in general, though, I prefer that if they don't stop fights early and there is a mechanism to restart them. I will say this too, another thing. The ref kind of is like lucky in a way that there was only 1 second left in the round. Now, if this happened at 2:30 of the first round,
Of course, yeah.
right?
Then
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 it's
it's
like he can't
yeah,
do anything.
it's
Maybe
either a
he'll
submission win or no contest. Then
it would probably would have been. So
yeah,
because it was a 1 second left, he was like almost like faking it, like, oh no, I was calling the round was over.
yeah,
You know, it's possible. It's possible. I will say this. I'm going to play devil's advocate. It's possible when he hit the 10-second clap in his back of his head, he's counting down 10 seconds and just was like, okay, the round's over now. But I don't think so.
no,
I think that he stopped it, thinking
yeah,
Magny was out. Magny wasn't out. Magny immediately protested. You're right. His arm was going limp a bit, and who knows? Maybe if he holds on one more second, Jake Matthews,
yeah.
he actually chokes him out
Mhm.
the bell like Marab and Ricky Simone. Right?
Yeah.
It's
Which
possible.
I also still don't agree with, but yeah, okay, and that is also like they put that in the record books as the latest stoppage ever by
Yeah, I
TKO.
know.
It's like 5 minutes. They never can change that anymore. But with the
Marcel,
quicker,
TKO due to submission.
yeah, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, it was weird. But yeah, I mean, I think rematch makes sense, right? Like it does,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
I
What
think
card would you
so.
put that? Maybe the Las Vegas card, like the last pay-per-view, maybe in Vegas, that one?
I wouldn't
323
put it on pay per view. I put it on a
Apex?
fight night. Yeah,
Apex? Maybe the one with Cop and Royval
yeah,
in
yeah.
yeah, on the maybe opening main card or something like that.
I do that.
I think it makes sense, right? Because I think yeah, Magni won, but like it wasn't super. It was just weird, you know. At the same time, I will say this to you, Marcel. Don't you agree though that the odds were fucking crazy for this fight, regardless of what happened?
Yeah, I told you. Like, I listen. I picked
Minus
Matthews because I
500.
thought. Yeah, but I also didn't agree because we know what Magny can do. You know, and
Yeah.
Magny always has gas for 15 minutes. So I mean, we know he can. But I thought that Matthews would have been able to get him out of there, but he wasn't. So yeah,
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people had Matthews by submission. He was close. He was
it was
as
very
close
close.
as you could get.
Yeah,
I will say really quick about Magny. You know, people call him like a decision merchant, but five was it what, 4 of his last 5 fights have ended by him finishing the fight. So it later in his career, Marcel, somehow he's finishing people now, but just on cardio. I wonder how many third round finishes he has. He has one, two, three. Yeah, three, and then let's see, three. Da, 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 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 third round finishes in the. That's a lot. That's
yeah.
a lot. He's always there for 15 minutes, man. You know. Anyways, I think we talked enough about it, but I wanted to get a few other comments. The referee's name Jim Parados, Greek Australian guy, Marcel, or Perdios. Perdios, I think. Perdios.
Perdios is it? Yeah, Perdios. I think.
A lot of people are shitting on him, saying he's the experienced ref. I mean, like again, I don't know if the protocol was followed here, but oh yeah, Lawler Askren too. That's another one too. Yeah,
Yeah,
with that bulldog choke.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what sucked from that fight? It was like the commentary was like, "He's out, he's out, he's out." And then, yeah, no, he was not out. What a mistake! I was
Yeah.
like, "What the
Well,
fuck
was
up?
it
The guy's
Rogan?
not
Probably
out."
Rogan,
Yeah,
right?
Rogan. Yeah, I
He's
was
the
like,
worst
you
for
also
that.
said, yeah, you also said, well, he was out.
Yeah, Herb did check the. It's weird because the thing is with these blood chokes, especially, this is like it could happen any second, right? But I think it's tough. If the guy doesn't tap, you kind of have to let him go in the shield. Just like the guy in your picture, man. That's crazy,
For,
Kev. No, that's fair.
not for Reed.
Kevin Basharat, fair, crazy Kev. Just joking.
Oh no, not for Javid, not for Reed. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll talk about Ferry because he's coming up here.
Yeah.
By the way, fight talks here. Oh, there we go. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. For the upcoming
Which one?
cards,
Which ones you need?
probably whoever's blue corner, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, I send those all to you, man. You have to scroll back, man.
Maybe not for October. Anyway, you guys, we'll talk about that after.
Oh,
Back to the card. Shit. How about this fight? It wasn't fight of the night, but I think it was the best fight in the card, like overall, right? This fight for as long as it lasted. Would you say Tom Nolan, Charlie Campbell?
yeah, for sure. That was a fun one. Yeah,
No knockdown, according to UFC stats for Charlie.
retarded, but yeah,
It's
okay.
crazy. What do you have to do to get a knockdown, man? And yeah, like Knox said, hit the like button. Anyways, I thought Charlie, looked good early, dropped him, and then, well, according to UFC stats, he didn't, but it seemed like he dropped him. And then Tom Nolan obviously came back and won. Good win for Tom. I still don't trust this guy, Marcel. I still don't trust his chin, honestly.
The thing is, like you saw, like he got knocked down. Fuck what the UFC stats say. He
Yeah, I
got
know
knocked
he
down
did.
early, and he got buckled again, and then he started to buckle Campbell, and he was able to get the finish there. It was a fun fight for as long as it lasted. If one fight was going to win fight of the night, it was this one, although it was only one round. So,
Yeah.
yeah, very fun fight, very fun card, or very fun fight card. Very open. I want to say very fun fight of the opener of the main card. That's what I wanted to say.
We did say this would be one of the better fights in the card. It's not hard. It wasn't hard to see that, anyways. Look at the way Charlie Campbell fights. But yeah, I mean, we talked about the short notice. I think that played a factor for sure. It didn't seem like he was 100% prepared. I didn't even realize, like, he's completely gone from Longos now. He's training with Joe Schilling. Joe Schilling, what's his name? Tom Nolan was talking shit to Joe Schilling. I don't know if you saw after the fight. He was talking shit to him. It was jokes. Tom Nolan got dropped against Victor Martinez. Nicholas Mata got knocked him out, and now Charlie Campbell dropped him. And I think Alex Reyes rocked him, didn't he, in that fight too? I think he rocked him.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't trust this guy. I'm telling you, man. He's 4-1, but I don't trust him.
I think he's a fun fighter, but yeah, he has some questionable chin.
What do you think of this fight? Navajo Sterling gets a unanimous decision over Bellato. What do you think?
It wasn't a good fight, dude.
What do you think of this guy, Sterling? 3-0 now by all decisions.
Bro, I picked Bellator. I picked
Whenever I
Bellato.
type his name and I write Bellator by accident, I swear.
Same thing also. I picked Bellato, so that says a lot what I think about Navajo, man. I think he's decent, but I'm not really a believer so far, but who am I,
Yeah. Who are you? Just Big Marcel. Just the guy who breaks all the fight news. By the way, Bellato, first fighter in UFC history to go 1-1-1-1. Crazy.
Yeah, like Brundage.
He went. Oh yeah, but he was in the middle of his run.
Yeah.
The end of, recently. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they do with Sterling. I think that he might get a top 15 opponent. I could see him fighting like Menefield next. Menefield's kind of the gatekeeper. I could see them doing that. I think Menefield gives him a tough fight. I might still pick Sterling, but I don't know how good he is. I think he's decent, but I don't know if he's like top 15 yet. We'll see. Mock cracking a beer open for Sunday Night Football. Adams open. I don't have any right now. I had some. I don't think it was yesterday, 2 days ago. So I didn't want any tonight. But go ahead and crack one open, man. Enjoy one for me, brother. Damon Jackson too. Did he? Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, he had a break in between. Damon. He had that draw with that Levon Makashvili. Remember that guy, Levon Makashvili? And he had no contest with. Was it Ronnie Jason or who was it? Damon Jackson. Who was the no contest against? Was that who it was? The Honey Jason guy? I'm gonna check.
I have no idea anymore who he had no contest against.
Oh, like you're right that out of his career it would be like 1-1-1-1, but he had like a break because he went back to like I think LFA and stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Honey Jason no contest. Medeiros loss. Levon draw, and then the win was against Mirsad Bektic in his return. So technically, but again, he had like 10 fights in between. But definitely a good shout out by you, Lazy Bet. Cam Rouston, there's only 3 upsets in this card. This was one of them. Knocks out Andre Petrosky. Yeah, I mean, this was pretty quick knockout, Marcel. 2 minutes 41 seconds. Thoughts?
I'm so surprised how Andre looked. He looked really bad in the fight, I think, and Cam looked kind of good. Cam looked like a world beater in that fight, and I don't think he is, to be really honest. So, yeah, good win for him, man. Yeah.
Pretty much agree. I mean, good win. He was a guy I was looking at as an underdog. The experience was for, Petrosky. I thought Andre would wrestle him. I didn't think he'd just stand and trade. I really didn't. So, next fight here, I think this fight was not very good. Jamie Mullarkey defeats Rolando Bedoya. Bedoya 0-4. I think he gets cut.
Yeah, you would think, right? I think Bedoya finally woke up in the 3rd round. Finally was able to stop some takedowns.
Yeah.
And light Mullarkey up on the feet, but he was already 2 rounds behind. So, yeah.
Too little, too late, as they say, right, Marcel?
Yeah, exactly.
I think Mullarkey saved his job. I think this fight, he's just the guy they're going to use on these Australian, New Zealand cards.
Yeah.
He doesn't do it for me, man. I think he's kind of had his run when he beat Michael Johnson, some of those guys, and now he's kind of at the tail end of his career.
And I still think he didn't beat Michael Johnson, to be honest.
A lot of people don't think he won that fight. This fight was also kind of fucking weird too, right? Colby Thickness and Josias Musasa. First round, Colby just Well, Josias looked good for the first couple minutes, but as soon as Colby got the takedown, just beating the fucking shit out of him, Marcel, like
Bro,
close to 10-8 round, I would say close. The first round.
Colby used a very dirty trick to win the
Hold
fight.
on, hold on. I'm gonna get to it. Hold on.
Okay.
Second round, Masasa comes back. Third round, Masasa's winning, and then Colby accidentally, Marcel kicks him in the nuts and really hard low blow.
Yeah.
Guy takes the full 5 minutes, and after that, Colby gets his win back and gets a takedown and rides out the win. I mean, he won the fight, but I think when it's that like brutal of a low blow, how do you take a point? What do you think?
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
should have.
You think it was on purpose?
I'm not gonna say it was, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
I think honestly, Marcel, it was smart if it was. I'll say that
Yeah.
because you know that the ref's not going to take a point
Of
for the
course,
first low
yeah.
blow. They never do. Same with the eye poke,
I
or
know.
fence grabs. Well, sometimes they do, but not really.
Mhm.
Usually get I call it the trifecta of fouls. You get one of each. You get one low blow, you get one eye poke, you get one fence grab, and then they'll take a point after that. But usually you get one of each. Sometimes you get two of each.
Mhm.
I don't know. This is a weird fight. I think Musasa's okay though, but his ground game sucks, Marcel. Regardless, his ground game's horrible, dude.
Yeah. True.
You know?
He didn't know what to do. Yeah.
Good striking, but just an awful ground game. So Knox is saying better camp. Yeah, I mean, I think he trains in the DR still, right? Like, is it possible for him to move out of there? Is it possible for him to go to Vegas and train and live in Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why can't he train at the PI in some of those camps like Syndicate or Extreme? Like, I think he's doing himself a disservice to his career.
Wasn't he called Usman's guy? What,
He was signed, I think, also because they were talking about Africa last year, and they still haven't gone, which is crazy. PFL goes, but UFC can't go. I know they say, "Oh, we can't find a venue." I don't know.
Francis doesn't go.
Francis doesn't go. Maybe Francis will go back to the UFC. Who knows? Doesn't seem like PFL wants him. Andrew, what's up, man? Hit a bong for us, buddy. Next fight here, Michelle Montague against Luana Carolina. This was a bad pick by me, obviously, because Luana really couldn't stop takedowns. On the feet, though, she did rock Michelle twice, really badly. Michelle clearly won the fight. Also, there was an illegal up kick, point taken immediately, which was fine. And then the referee gives her the position back on the feet. So it's like, I almost feel like it's worth taking a foul there if you're the one, right?
Yeah, I said it like the Gilbert Eiffel tactic there, I mean, he did it with Valentine Overeem against him, and that sometimes it works, but it's weird, man. You shouldn't get how do you say it? The person who gets who receives the illegal blow should be able to get the position back if they want the position back.
I agree. And some people were saying, "Oh, well, she wasn't really on the ground." I was like, "No, she was. She definitely was.
Yeah,
she definitely was.
She wasn't on the ground. It wasn't a point deducted. So
I've heard that you get either one or the other. I've heard that. Aaron told me that. Weird. I don't think it makes sense. No. And again, a referee, the referees are told that, but it doesn't make sense. You should get both. Brando Pericic just fucking. I thought he murdered this guy, Elijah Ellison, Marcel. That was a brutal knock. Huge mismatch too with the size, right? You saw at the weigh-ins.
Yeah.
Like it looked like a heavyweight against like a middleweight almost. I want to say. I felt bad for this guy. Like it was brutal ground and pound, dude.
And it's also not like a short notice fight or anything. This was supposed to happen on the Contender Series, so they were setting this guy up. You know what I mean? So
I felt bad for him, man. It was scary. He had the oxygen mask on after.
I saw that.
I hope he's okay. Honestly, I hope he's okay. I will say this: pulling guard at heavyweight is a death sentence. That is one of the dumbest things you could do. You agree?
Yeah. I mean, these guys have so much power in their hands, I mean,
dude, he chased with Chase Hooper and those guys. Jeff Hoogland, remember him? Jeff Hellbound Hoogland.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Dude, those guys pull guard but they're fucking lightweights. You know what I mean?
I think wasn't that Hoogland guy? Wasn't he supposed to fight Henan Barrow, and then Barrow got promoted to the main event against Faber or something?
I think so. He was like 0-2 in the UFC. I want to say like it was a while ago. Chase Hooper, obviously, he's great on the ground. His chin is not the best, but yeah, I feel bad for this guy. I hope they give him another fight, but at 205, I would say. He can't fight at heavyweight, right? There's no way.
No. I don't think so.
Do you like Pericic though? I mean, he's kind of interesting prospect, right? A little bit.
I don't know what to think about him, dude. He fought a guy that wasn't his size, in my opinion. Let him see against better opposition, as far as there is better opposition at heavyweight. Under the top 6.
And one thing, just really quick, watch the weigh-in ceremonial. The leisure guy goes to shake his hand. The guy just doesn't shake it and shakes everyone else's hand up. I didn't like that personally. I get it. Doesn't have to. They're in a fight. It's also a sport. I don't think there's anything wrong with shaking your opponent's hands, So I know you said that I wouldn't even put my hand out to shake it, right? That's what you told me.
No, I'm like, listen, if I know my opponent is a dick, or I'm not like, how do you say that, familiar with him, I'm
Yeah,
just waiting till
fair enough.
he reaches out, and then I shake his hand. But I'm not gonna look stupid and shake somebody's hand, and somebody's not shaking my hand, you know?
Yeah, you must have felt like a doofus after that. By the way, Lazy Bed mentioned this. Josias Usasa, he kept asking the referee he has to go piss. He's like, I have to take
Yeah.
a pee. That'd be so funny if you're like, okay, go take a pee, come back. Like,
Yeah.
but it's funny though how like you could take a shit in the octagon, but you can't take a pee.
Yeah,
Listen,
he should have
yeah,
just missed.
you should have just pissed. Listen,
Yeah,
I think people probably have peed in the octagon before. We just don't know about it really. We know
yeah,
people. We know Romero took a shit. We know that
yeah,
Justin Kish took a shit. I think Tim Sylvia took a shit once. Listen,
yeah.
you're in a fight, life or death. You know, you really are.
Angela Magana took a piss in the octagon when she was fighting Watterson.
Oh, the waterworks, eh? There you go.
Yeah, legit. Like she was, I think she was on her back, and
I
Watterson was
remember.
in
I remember she said that,
side
and
control. Yeah,
I thought she was such a bad fighter. Honestly, in
yeah,
like one, she was awful. But anyways, yeah, you're right. I mean, listen, what would they've did? Would they get disqualified because he had to pee after he got brutally knocked out? Actually, I would say this too. That fight was in the third round, and I think actually a minute had gone by. It would have been interesting, Marcel, if he's like, I can't continue, and they went to it would have been scorecards.
yeah.
Is it just 1-1, or do they score at a 10-10, or do they give 10-9 to Masasa because he was winning right up to the point? I don't know. That would have been interesting. That was his best way to get the win, probably, because his opponent got the gas back after that. Kind of a dirty tactic, like you said. Versus the thing with Jenkins, no fist bump. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, and then he shook John Shelby's fan like 3 times, and then Shelby's going to cut his ass now. Allison versus Pratchett. Yeah, they could do that. Did Taffa get cut? Not yet. Not yet.
Which one?
These both should be, right?
Yeah,
I know you're not the guy that's like, I want these guys to lose their jobs, but at the same time, Marcel, it's fucking bullshit how many times these guys have pulled out of fights. You know it is.
yeah, I know.
Yeah. They robbed, I like this one. They robbed this one and Nick of Louis Sutherland. He would have peed knocked on.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Louis Sutherland here, UFC heavyweight. Got some bad news. My opponent, Justin Taffa's pulled out, and Mick Maynard's going to be sad now. That's what he said in the video. I like
Also,
Louis.
yeah, they showed that whole package for Perisic against.
They're both like, oh, I was a drug addict and I found MMA. Like, how many times have you heard this story, Marcel?
Yeah, every single time, man.
It's crazy. I mean, there's not many rich people to do it. Like Armin Zaryukins and BJ Penn are like the only guys I could think of, right? They came from like rich families. Maybe there's other ones, but it's always rags to riches. Like George St. Pierre was a garbage man, and these guys grew up on the streets. How many
Yeah.
times have you heard this? Leisha Allison, that was fuck though, dude. He's like, I had the gun in my hand. I was good with the pull trigger, and I think he said Jeff Hoogland called him and saved his life or something. Like he's like, I kissed my dog, and that was going to be it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I felt so bad. He gets brutally knocked out and almost killed a minute later.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the drug guy, oh yeah, they go to the power slap. Dana said that. Dana's like, hey, if you want to go make some money, come do power slap. This is bullshit though. Like he flies halfway across the world, dude, and then the opponent cuts out due to not making heavyweight. That's crazy, eh?
Yeah.
Do you think they gave him his win bonus? They probably didn't, eh?
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea.
He gets show though, right? Because he
I hope so, dude. I mean, come on.
Have you heard if they're going to rebook him like quickly or?
No idea at all. No.
I guess they could do him in the Qatar card, right? That'd be the only card, right? In Europe or Abu Dhabi, I guess they could do that as well. One of those two.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make
really
sense.
That's really called Qatar Europe.
It's not, isn't it in Europe? I think.
Bro, that's Asia, man.
You sure it is? Okay, fair enough. Because I know that Azerbaijan is near it too, right?
Yeah, that's actually also Asia.
I think they called it European though, didn't they?
Yeah, but it's not Europe.
Yeah, I guess Middle East would be considered Asia, even though it's in the middle of everything, right? You're right. You're not wrong. You're right, and I'm wrong. I should know this better, but I don't live in that part of the world, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah, Budai got cut because he wasn't finishing guys, you know. But at the same time, they should have kept him. GSP was a garbage man in Montreal. Yeah, that's true. You know that, right? You knew that?
No, I didn't actually.
Oh yeah, he was. I read his book. It's a good book. Easthoff brother will now be headlining. I think he's still gonna They were gonna fucking put him in the opening fight, and then the other brother in the co-main event in this card.
Yeah.
This card. No wonder they had problems selling tickets. And I know that David Shaw was making like all this bullshit up about we're not worried. It's a subpar product last night. It was, it really was. Who's Azim fighting now? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully they get him up in a fight because, it sucks for him. He lost his opponent.
Yeah.
Canio's not going to take that fight. All right. Back to the card. Your girl, Alexa Tayanara, defeats Loma. Too bad 105 isn't in the UFC, right? Because Loma is just too small.
Yeah,
She
true.
really is.
Yeah. She really had difficulties with the strength of Alexia. Yeah.
Bonuses, they went to Ulberg, Crute, Nolan, and Perich. You agree, or any?
I think Roaston kind of deserved also one, to be honest. But yeah.
I think he could have got one instead of Nolan. Nolan got dropped before, but the fight was fun too. So, anyways, overall, I mean, it wasn't a great card. Let's be honest, guys. It really wasn't. One of these cards I'm watching, I'm like kind of bored a little bit at times, and I know you were too, especially some of the fights in the middle of it that were going the distance. You're like, oh, and you have to write about it and stuff. It just, it wasn't fun. All right, let's go to. You want to do contender really quick, and we'll do the preview. All right, contender series. Let me pull it up here. 6 contracts, right, this week?
Yeah.
You know what? I was doing the recap, and I was like, what fights were you on? It's like there's so many fights now that I kind of forget them, man. To be honest with you, like it's so hard to remember every fight that took place. All right, let's go to season 9 here. Wow, 31 contracts already, Marcel. 31 in 7 weeks. So you win, you get a contract, basically.
Basically, yeah.
All right, Rafael Tobias gets the win. Yeah, I mean, obviously he gets signed.
Mm-hmm.
Javier Reyes, really good finish, gets signed. Yeah. The 2 girls get signed. I thought Sophia clearly won the fight. Clearly. What do you think?
I also thought she won. I had a 2-1. So yeah.
I was shocked by this decision, dude. This was one of the to me, it was one of the most surprising decisions I've seen in a while. Murtazali wins, and then Montes wins. Nice pick there. See, I always give you props, man. Always, dude. Just kidding. Yeah, I mean, I can't really argue against it. But the thing is, like, these finishers are so fast. It's like, how good really are these guys? I really don't know, right?
The same question I always have as well, yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Like that Polish guy last week with, like, the 20-second knockout over.
Yeah, what do you know actually about him now? Nothing.
We
nothing
know nothing about the dude.
Yeah.
So, on paper, they didn't look like mismatches, really, but they turned out to be. A lot of people said it was the best contender of the year. It might have been. I think that card with that JP Lebisanani guy where he had that crazy knockout, that was my favorite one. Also Mandonalo. I love Mandel. That was on that card too. I think overall, like, Dana's been pretty good with the contracts though. I think he's been pretty, good picking them. Has anyone that's won knockout signed? I guess Riley De Silva, right? And Yuri, those 2 guys. And
yeah, the first episode.
Was that it? Everyone else has been signed. Right?
Yeah, the Brazilian guy.
Eduardo Chapolin.
Yeah,
that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
So only 3, and then I guess Freddie Vidal too.
Yeah.
Although he's getting another fight, he might even get a contract. I think that's it. Oh, and Patty McCoy, actually. There's been 5, I guess. So, yeah, and I wouldn't have signed any of them either, to be honest. Yeah, although I will say, Chapolin probably is UFC caliber. It's just he had a shitty fight. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. Anyways, overall, I mean, it's been an okay season. It's been a pretty good season, actually, I would say. But I will say this too: are you okay with them giving a contract to, like, every finish, basically, or every good fight, or do you prefer what season 1 where, like, Chris Curtis had a crazy knockout and they're like, Chris, we're going to pass on you tonight?
Yeah,
like,
but Chris deserved it, actually.
He got fucked. That's a bad. Okay, Austin Vanderford. How about him?
Yeah, he also got fucked. Okay, what about Tan Lee? I mean,
he had a crazy knockout, right? Was it like a head kick or something?
Yeah.
And would they say we're not interested? Like,
yeah, I was talking to a couple of other guys last week, and man, I actually have a good idea, man. I think for the contender series, and maybe you're not really with me here, but let me say. So when you're in the UFC and you're like 1-2, or you're whatever, or you're even 2-2, and the UFC is not convinced that you're like UFC material, what about giving these guys a fight, in the contender series against the newer guys, and if they win, they stay. If they lose, they are out.
Especially the guys on the entry level deals. Like a guy, actually, like even Erslan, right? Couldn't maybe put him against a light heavyweight and be like, hey, you have to win this fight to be in the UFC still.
Yeah,
it doesn't really change anything as far as, like, the finances go.
Yeah.
What do they get? Is it 10-10 still for contender?
I think.
Sorry, no, it's 5-5. 5-5.
Contender itself is 5-5. Yeah.
And then if you win, you get 10-10. Is that? Yeah. Dude, it's shit. Would you do it?
I mean, I still think you got more than you fight at the regional, right? So I mean,
did you see that story about that girl, Elise Pereira, today? Did you see that story?
No, what was with it?
I think Lucas talked to Guilherme about it, and he said He might have just put it on his Instagram, but Lucas was talking about Elise, and he basically said that she made $100 in her last fight in the regional scene in Brazil. So $100. So he's
Damn.
like, we had to get her in the UFC because she's making 10,000 now. She could use that money to invest in like a better training camp and stuff. And Lucas is convinced she's UFC caliber. I'm like, dude, I think she got rushed to the UFC personally. But Lucas is like, it's better for her to at least make 10,000 and get experience than fight for $100.
Yeah, okay, I see that as well at the same
Yeah,
time.
for a manager's point, I get it. He gets a little kickback, obviously. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But again, I don't think she's ready. $100. It might be. I've been to Brazil. They need money down there, man. Someone said she's dating Felipe. What's Carlos Felipe? I don't know. Someone in the chat said, was it Duke? I think he said that. Good for him. He's like in his 30s. She's like 19, dude. If they give 20-second knockout contract, the guy to boring fight, yeah. No, I kind of agree with that. For sure. I mean, you had guys like Sean O'Malley, Jamal Hill, et cetera, et cetera. They're having a harder time finding fighters now to fight. I hope they don't do 20 episodes next year. That's all I'm going to say. I don't think there's enough talent, man. Do you?
You kill the regional scene as well if you do that, I think. So I don't think that's a good thing.
At that point, it's basically LFA's contender series. At that point,
Yeah.
it's basically the same thing at that.
Antoine.
They probably will add it. I think they'll add weight classes in MMA eventually, but I still think they should split up 170 to go to 165, 175. Personally, you add another marquee weight class with another belt.
I never got like why is like you get like 145 featherweight, 155 flyweight, and then it's a 170 and 185. Why is the gap so big between it? Actually,
I think when they created it, like again, it was okay. There wasn't that many fighters, but now there's just so many fighters. Some people have said they need the 195 Franklin weight. I don't like the Franklin weight division. I don't think there's enough guys for 195. You agree with me?
What the Franklin weight?
Franklin weight, yeah, because Rich Franklin used to fight at 195.
Oh, okay, sorry, yeah.
Rich, right? That's like it's like a joke almost, but I don't think they need that division. 105 for women's, but also like how many finishes will you get there? Really, probably not a lot. But they could basically just buy out Invicta and bring them in. Also, I have a heavy ticket sellers. I mean, there's guys fighting October 7th card make more than 10 and 10. The headlines CFC. Yeah, fair enough. Also, like one other thing too, really quick on Contender. I liked when they did Contender Brazil. Did you like that back in the day? They had no.
I liked it back in the day, but if I think about it, I don't like the splitting up with the Contender Series on the road already.
Okay.
Because you should make sure you get the actual good talent from the regional scene, and not look at where they come from and then try to build something there. Because you also see with a lot of these Asian fighters, man, they come in the UFC, they don't, and some have, but a lot of them don't have the caliber to fight in the UFC. But they come from road. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think they shouldn't. They should stop mixing that shit. Or they should stop. Setting it apart and mix that shit. You know what I mean?
You agree with this comment? Rhodes already Chinese Dana White Contender
Yeah,
series?
basically, yeah. And I mean, they should just all put it together, in my opinion, and not like, oh, we need guys from this part of the world. Let's do it. This. I mean, what are they going to do in 2 years? They're going to Dana White Contender Series India.
They might.
All this. I mean, and they barely have any good quality fighters. Maybe two.
They might go to Indonesia where you're from. I mean, they might.
It's also I know,
it's one of the most populated countries in the world, dude. There's gotta be some fighters there.
I know, but if there's no quality, there's no quality. It is what it is,
They're hoping for the next Puja Tumar or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like they're to me, they're really like they're really scraping the bottom of the barrel now for the talent. I think. Obviously there's some good fighters that came out of the season, no doubt. But again, a lot of these guys. They get first round finishes. And I'm like, how good is this guy really? I have no fucking clue. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
Like again, that Polish guy's the perfect example. Like, it was a nice knockout, but like we learned nothing about the guy's takedown defense, his cardio, anything, right? I see that quote from Mark Shapiro that said they charge more for WWE because Vince used to keep it low. Dude, they're all trying to make a ton of money. Like, it's like the guy that from the Ticketmaster that's saying concert tickets were too low and now that's why the prices all jacked up. Like the SO tickets in for the Europe, did you see the prices were crazy, eh? And they're sold out every show, Marcel. Every show. They added shows in like Paris and London and what's it called? It's a Frankfurt. What's that city called? Dusseldorf. That one.
Oh, Dusseldorf. Yeah.
They sold out. It was sold out. It's complete. It's So people are like, oh, it's too much money, but like people are buying the tickets. So I think that they're really overworked. Like I was talking. I can't remember if it was you I was talking to, but like I would hate to be Sean Shelby and Mick Maynard. Like when do you sleep? Like you're getting text messages all the time and emails and stuff. Like. They do way more work, I think, than Dana and stuff. Don't you think?
For sure. I'm pretty sure also with the Dana White, if you don't know, now you know. I'm pretty sure it comes from Sean and Mick.
Oh wait, what's his name? David Shaw said they're going to do another Dana White looking for a fight. Didn't he say that in
Yeah.
was it Australia or New Zealand or something? He
Yeah,
didn't have
that
an
should be
answer
the.
for New Zealand. They need to go back there. Why? I don't get why they haven't. I guess they don't.
Oh,
They're not getting enough money from one of those cities like
yeah.
Wellington or Auckland or whatever. Dan Hooker makes sense. I still don't know if this fight with Dan Hooker and Armin happens in Qatar. I don't know if
No
it
idea.
happens.
Also
I
no
think
idea.
it'll probably just be Bogdan and
Yeah.
Jan, which hasn't been announced either. Tico needs to justify paying $4 billion UFC. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. How much do you guys think they get paid? Sean and Mick? That's a great question. I have no fucking clue.
I
It's a
think
great
enough.
question. They probably making 7 figures. I mean, they have to be making 7 figures. They do a lot of work, man. The company's
Yeah.
worth so much money. Joe Silva got a ton of money when he got bought out from the UFC. Joe
Mhm.
Silva like went off the dude. When was the last time you heard of the guy? It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Dana's net worth estimated 500 million. Yeah, that's if anything, it could be low. I mean, he might be worth more than that. And how much money are these guys like hiding in fucking like Bitcoin and stuff too that the government has no idea about, Marcel? You know, not really hiding, but you know what I mean. Like he's definitely
Yeah.
Dana's probably invested in that stuff. Like he bought was the Crypto.com that sponsorship. By the way, do they even give the money out to those fighters anymore from that Crypto.com? Remember that they used to give like
Yeah, I know. I have no idea, dude. I never looked into it. I have no idea.
yeah, these questions are unanswered on this
Yeah.
podcast. All right, let's get out of here. We're going to do the next podcast though. We're going to preview UFC 320. So let's get out of here, Marcel. Yeah,
And the Contender Series?
and contender. We'll do contender. Although I don't think we have odds yet. I looked this afternoon. I don't think there's odds, so that's going to make it a little bit more. I would say a little tricky to, give a fair breakdown, just because most people they're going to break it down this week will have odds. But let me check. Maybe they added them. Oh, they did. They added them. They're adding them right now, actually, as we're speaking, which is crazy. Maybe by the time we get to there, they'll have all the 5 fights up. That'd be
Okay.
interesting. All right, let me close this podcast and we'll do the UFC 320 breakdown, guys.